Happy Sunday! Hope you guys are ready to talk some weather. This is another edition of Weather Extra with me, forecaster Jayda Russell. So let's go ahead and take a look, start looking out at Decatur. It's been a nice day across the valley. It's been comfortable, not too hot, not too cold, decent breeze. Right now, Decatur is sitting at around 79. And yesterday, I think we had a couple of areas. We were 78 yesterday, 79 today. We had a couple areas that kind of tapped at 80 right at it. So I think a couple of communities were right at 80. See? There we go. Russellville definitely at 80. Here in Huntsville at 80. Muscle Shoals, I did kind of feel like someone would cross the threshold and be a little bit of an outlier. We're seeing 83 out of Muscle Shoals, but lots of us are still in those upper 70s though. We're seeing 77 from Fort Payne, 76 from Winchester, 75 Fayetteville. Now there looks like there may be a little bit of a cooler spread across some of our Tennessee counties. So keep that in mind. They're farther north, so they get a little bit of a cooling habit every now and again. But looks like most of us are nice and comfortable for the day and no humidity to note. So that's kind of a great point to keep in mind for the next few days. It's not going to be very humid, even though we get back into those low end and possibly mid 80s for a couple of our communities. It'll be comfortable all around. So tonight looks like we're going to drop into those upper 40s for a couple of us. Patchy fog is possible heading into your Monday morning, and there's an area that's going to have a kind of dense amount of fog, and it stays around for the first couple of hours of the morning. So it's not even kind of how some of the time we would have our fog back up and just be out of the way closer to 7 and 8 o'clock. It looks like it wants to hang around to 9, maybe 9:30. So I believe I have it hour by hour in here for you. But next 12 hours, let's talk about how we're going to go from 70 all the way down to 40 something for some of our communities. So expectations for the next couple of hours. Not entirely sure why that fog keeps popping up. That's weird. Interesting. I've changed that, but we'll go back and do that again. Sunshine. It's gonna be nice and sunny. It's gonna be nice and sunny until about sunset. Sunset's starting to get closer and closer to 6 o'clock. I believe it was 6:21. 6:21. Friday, or maybe yesterday. It was Friday. So as we get to sunset, we start to get back into those 60s, and we're going to start seeing some rapid drop-offs because we are kind of moving into that cooler condition of year, so that cooler time of year where we are going to start to see those temperatures drop a little quicker, getting into some 60s for the evening. So we'll keep the same kind of forecast for the next couple of days, where our highs, even though they go up a tad, our evenings are going to be more or less the same. We'll get back into some mid, low end 50s, upper 40s for a couple of our cooler communities. So overnight tonight, heading into the wee hours of Monday morning, that's when we'll get into those mid and low end 50s. We'll see a calm breeze every now and again, and it's going to be nice and clear for most of the night. I've been really into taking pictures of the moon lately, so it's going to be very nice. I know the supermoon phenomena is over, but still, really cool stuff. Honestly, I need to post that picture because I think that was so cool. I had so much fun trying to find it and make the picture look nice and everything, so I'll post that on my Facebook. I'll make sure to get that out to you guys. But out the door for your Monday. Let's go ahead and start planning for the work week. I know, I'm so sorry. The weekend is coming to a close. Fall break for some of our students and teachers coming to a close. So sorry about it. But hey, we're almost there to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's like a little over a month away. There you go. Something to look forward to. So out the door for your Monday, we're going to see some 50s still hanging around the 8 a.m. hours. So for my students that maybe are on the bus, parents that have students on the bus, or even teachers, folks that are getting ready for work, it's going to be a cooler start to your morning. And like I mentioned, this is going to be something we see for the next couple of days. So keep that in mind as you plan out for your work week ahead. You might want to keep a light jacket nearby. I'm one of those people that I always keep a light jacket nearby with me, because you never know what you're going to walk out into. It could say 55, but you only know how that feels to you. So it'll be a chilly start. We'll keep some breeze around for most of the days as well. Looking into the work week, we'll start to see some breezier conditions. Around Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like it may want to die down just a tad, but usually by Friday it returns full force. So we're going to see a high of about 81 for tomorrow. And like I mentioned, getting back into those low to mid 80s for the next couple of days. No chance of rain for the next few days as well. So every single day is going to be a tad warmer, but more or less the same than the day before. I think our highest temperature would be about 83, 84 this week here in Huntsville. So that means areas like Muscle Shoals, for example, they could be well above that, around 84 to 86, maybe. That's a possibility for a couple of days out of the week. But that's going to be your day ahead. But I want to take you hour by hour to kind of look at the amount of fog that we're expecting. So this is around 5 a.m. That's when it starts to build. Looks like it may build a little earlier. Starts to form around 4:30, just before that 5 o'clock hour. And as we get to, Max will catch up with me, 6 a.m., 6:30, that's when we start to see some decent fog. So looking into the Moulton, Russellville area, even parts of Decatur, that's where we'll see some decent fog. And then Fayetteville, north of us in Tennessee, see some decent patchy fog throughout the morning as well. And here's what I mentioned, like it doesn't die down till about 9 or so. So it may be a rough go getting into the commute for the morning. So keep that in mind. Please think about that and drive safely tomorrow morning. Keeping a calm breeze for most of the day though. Don't really see it go above that 10 mile per hour speed. So it'll be a decent possible gust every now and again. And around 3 p.m., that's when we start to see those 80s make it back into the forecast. A couple of folks will stay below that though. Some 77s in the mix, a couple of 78s as well. So like I mentioned though, it's going to kind of be the same every single day, just a tad bit warmer each day. So tomorrow, low of 49, high of 81. Moving into Tuesday, our lows return to those low end and mid 50s for the next couple of days behind it. 83 being the high for Tuesday and Wednesday, and even into Thursday. Beautiful sunshine is expected for the next couple of days. We're not anticipating a great deal of cloud cover. We could see a passing cloud every now and again, but not really much of an expectation for that. So keep that in mind. Dry conditions for the next few days as well, like I mentioned, but we do have a nor'easter that is forming and has really just been kind of sitting over these communities for goodness, the last couple of hours. Looks like it's moved a tad north, but it's very slow moving, as you can see from this this radar run. This is about 2 to 3 hours, and it's still kind of in the same spot as we left it earlier this morning. So dealing with a great deal of rain over there. You can kind of get a glimpse of it here on our tropics. If you look at just below the banner there, you can kind of see where that's more up the east coast, farther up the east coast, I should say. So we do have a disturbance. Jerry and Karen kind of in the wind at this point. Let's see. I believe the next name, you know, I'm not even going to say it because I feel like I'm going to be wrong. But we have a 50% chance of this tropical development here in the next 7 days. And the focus so far, we don't really have much of a track on it, but the focus being we could possibly see Lorenzo. The focus being here, though, that is just a gathering of storms at the moment. Not expecting much out of it. If it decides to move farther west, that's when we'll start to make some changes in our forecast. But as of right now, it's kind of in the middle of the Atlantic there. So we have Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, and Olga. Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, and Olga. I feel like I'll remember Nestor. Surprisingly, that was a cartoon character from a show I grew up watching. So I might remember that one. Looking at your 7-day forecast, though, we're going to continue to see sunshine. Cloud cover is expected to build back in by the end of the work week. Looking at about Thursday, by the time we get to that point, we'll keep it mid to low end 80s for the next few days. Lows in those mid 50s. Pretty comfortable, to be honest. Saturday is the Liz Hurley Ribbon Run. exciting. Make sure you come out in your pink. I believe today is the 12th. Yes. So you have about 2 days to make sure you get out there and register beforehand. I believe registration closes on the 14th. And then they have shirts for us and all sorts of fun stuff. And you may see some familiar faces if you decide to go out and run. We'll be out there running the 5K. I believe the Survivor's Walk is at 8. And then the rest of the ribbon run is at 8:30. The 5K starts then. So, very excited about it. It'll be my first one. So I'm super excited to go and support Miss Liz. She's a very sweet woman. Love her so very much. But shout out Liz. Anywho, looking past that Saturday morning, it'll be a cool start. So back to that, runners you might want to consider, or even people that are just out and about Saturday morning. It'll be a chilly start, so you might want to consider bundling up just a little bit. Just a light jacket. Keep it cozy. Something, because you're going to be outside. It's going to be a little cooler for that start. So looking at Sunday, lows get back to those 60s, but Monday and Tuesday, we've kind of been on the fence here. Looks like there's going to be some great cloud cover moving in Saturday and Sunday, but the heaviest of it is going to be Monday. Could be one of those days like we had a couple days ago where it was just kind of gray and it looked like it was going to rain, but it didn't. That was Friday, I believe. Or Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday looked like it was going to rain and it really didn't. So we may have another day like that for Monday. But look at those highs in the mid 70s, nice and comfy. Looks like we might be heading into fall. We're hoping that it sticks this time. Fingers crossed. Because typically around this time of year, it's like around the 14th through the 16th. So we'll be a couple days off. I believe the 14th is Tuesday. Saturday's the 18th. So that's about right. We usually get to our fall weather that it sticks and stays. So that, finger crossed, we're going to see that stay next Monday. So get ready. Fall is upon us. But yes, other than that, I hope you tune in tonight at our 5 o'clock show, and then tonight at 10, or whenever the Lions and the Chiefs, ? Wrap up for the evening, the late night Sunday night football game. We will be right here giving you the latest forecast and news and everything that's going on in the community. So hope you'll stay up with us, because it's actually a lot of fun after the game. So hope you'll hang with us. But all that to be said, I will be back here tomorrow as well for your Weather Extra at 10:30. Hope to see you then. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful week.